Hello everyone, trust we are all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Learn Data Analytics with Blessing. In today's video, I'll be showing us how we can append and merge queries together in Power Query here in Power BI. Alright, remember how I explained that queries are data that you import into Power Query. So here in our queries pane, you would notice that we now have two data sets. We have the one for 2011 to 2014 sales and 2015 to 2016 sales. First, we're going for appending queries. I want to combine both sales 2011 to 2014 with sales 2015 to 2016. Now, one thing you should note first, what is appending query? Appending query simply means combining tables together, combining queries together vertically, stacking them on top of each other. Right? If this is from 2011 to 2014, I want to merge it to continue straight to 2015 to 2016. So one thing you should note when it comes to appending your queries is that your data, your queries must be of the same column structure. So if queries A contains 17 columns, queries B must also contain 17 columns. Another thing you should note is that the data type must be the same thing. So if the data type here in orders ID for every of the columns here must be exactly the same as the one for the next query you want to combine it with, you want to append it with. What do I mean? Now let's look at order ID. First, we have to check this column structure. Is it the same number of columns? Come here, you see 17 columns, right? We are not after the rows because I mentioned you are stacking them together on top of each other. So leave the rows, focus on the column. We have 17 columns here. Let's go back and check this. We also have 17 columns. So we are good to go. 17 columns. The next thing I want to look at is what are the data type. Are they the same thing? So I'm going to look at the first one. Looking at order ID, you can see that the data type is in alphabetical order. That is text, right? Same thing for, let's look at, I think we changed the one for customer. Yeah, the customer ID too, right? So let's go back to sales 2015 to 2016 and see. The order ID here is in numerical value, so you have to change it to text. I'm going to come here and select text. Then the next thing is we have our customer ID, right? Remember the customer ID, we added a prefix with, a letter C to it to make it more unique. So we'll do the same thing here, because if you combine this and then you might have the first part containing C with it, but the last part has nothing like C attached to it. So I'm going to add a prefix to this. I'll add a prefix to this. So I'm coming here now, select the column you want to add prefix to, then go to your transform tab and look for the option for prefix, add prefix, and I'm going to add a capital letter C to make it more unique. Then hit OK. Automatically, because we have a letter C attached to it, it changes it to this text. And I'm going to scroll and see if I'm good with every of the data type. I think I'm good. I don't have issues. Yeah, all good. Okay. Yeah, I think this one we have to extract it. So I'm going to extract. Is the only thing left. Extract this to be sure everything is okay. Okay. So I am good to go. I can now append both queries together, right? So since I'm starting with, I want 2011 to 2014 to be at the top. So you select the one that you want to be at the top first. So select this, then you can see, let's look at it. I've selected this already. Now let's go back. So in the home tab, we have different options, right? You can see the options for merge queries and append queries. What we want to do is to append queries. So I'll click on the drop down button beside append queries option. Once I click on that, we have two options, append queries and append queries as new. If you hit append queries, it merges this 2015-2016 to the one at the top. But if I click append as new, it merges them together and form a new query entirely from the ones at the top. So let's hit new query. So you see append as new query. So you see what it looks like. Now append, we have the append dialog box here. It's saying you want to concatenate rows from two tables into a single table, right? So how many number of tables do you have? Automatically it shows 2, because not that by default it chooses 2. So if you have more than 2, you select 3 or more, but it's just 2. So I'll leave it at 2 tables. This is the first table you want it to be at the top. The second table is, I'm going to select that I want this 2015 to 2016 to be at the top, and I'm going to hit OK, and it combines everything together, stacking them on top of each other. So if you scroll down, you can't see it because you're still seeing 999 plus. Our data is over 59,000 plus for each of the data, each of the query. So you can't see the total, but I'm sure it has merged them together. If you want to rename this, I'm going to rename this as just sales data from 2011 to 2016. I just appended this data together. This is how you append your data in Power Query. So I want to merge queries together. Merging is you combining tables together, combining queries together horizontally. Now, to do that, let's bring in data that I want to merge together. It's also an Excel file. We're going to merge queries out. Open. Right, to bring them in. It's trying to create connection with the data. Okay, so I'm going to bring these department details and employee details, and I'll hit the OK button. I want to merge these two queries together. Merge department details and employee details. When it comes to merging, there's something you have to note. There has to be a unique column common to both tables, to both queries, before you can merge them. It's just like saying, you remember VLOOKUP in Microsoft Excel? You're trying to look up for data from a main table into the lookup table. There has to be something called lookup value that you can use to draw out the information. So I want to merge this. I want to merge employee details with department details. If you look at the employee details, you can see employee ID, you can see employee name, you can see department ID, salary, and joining date. That is the day they joined the company, right? What if I'm just saying department ID? I know John Doe is in department 101, but what is department 101? What are the details concerning department 101? How do I know what department he is in? To do that, and I don't want to keep scrolling or going back to department ID to start looking at, oh, 101 is sales department, oh, it is based in New York. I want to draw out the information for the name of the department and the location into the employee details column. To do this, we use the feature called merging queries. And note, you have to have a unique column common to both. And what is this unique column? Looking at your employee details, you'll notice that the column unique to both employee details and employee and department details, is this department ID. Since I want to merge this with this, all I have to do is select the employee details, right? Come to the merge queries feature, click on the drop down button, and we have two options: merge queries or merge queries as new. So I'll go with the merge as new so that you can understand. You can try the merge queries, only combine department details to the employee details straight up. So I'll select merge queries as new. To do that, then we have the merge queries dialog box here, and it's asking, okay, you selected employee details first, the table you want to merge with this query. I want to merge the department details, not employee, department details. What is common to this column? Because if there's nothing common, you cannot merge them. There has to be something common. I'm selecting department ID here. I'll come and select department ID. Then it's asking for join kind. Now, I explained this better in a video I recorded about merging queries using Power Query in Microsoft Excel. So if you've not watched that, there will be a link to the video in the description. So check that out and you understand perfectly. I won't really go deep into this because I've done it before. So I'll come here. I'll leave it at left outer join. So what left outer join means, it will use the details here, this lookup values here, the department ID here, to look up for information from the department name. That is what the left outer join is all about. That's what it means. What if I'm not selecting employee? Let's assume I selected department details first, and I come here to select employee details. What it's going to do is that it's going to use, it's still on left outer join, right? It's going to use the department ID here to look out for or draw information here in the employee details. That is what it means. So I'll take it back to employee details and check this, give it back my department details. If I select right outer join, I'm telling Power Query to use the department ID in the department details query or table to draw out information from the employee details. That is what it means. So like I said, look at the link in the description You would understand better when you watch the video if you don't understand this. Very good. So you notice the moment, let's select department ID and department ID and wait for it. You can see the selection matches four rows from the second table. So it's okay, we are good. We're going to go back. We are working with left outer join, not right outer join now. So you can see it's saying selection matches 10 of 10 rows from the first table. I know someone is wondering, when we use right outer join, it was showing four rows. Why? That is because you will notice something. The right outer join means is using the department ID here to match or draw information here. And you notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's using the department ID here to draw information for you, obviously just expect 4 rows. But since we said left outer join, that is, use the department ID here to look up for information from here. So 101, anywhere it sees 101 here, it draws that information about 101. So we know we have two 101, 101 here, 101 here. So it draws information for both John Doe and for Sam Brown. The 102, we have 2. It will draw for Jane Smith and for Mike Green. Then we have 103. It will draw for Lisa White. So can you see that? That's how you have 10 of 10 rows match from the first table. I'm going to hit OK. And you have all tables combined together. Combined 10. So once you are done merging, you click on this. You notice that you have these departmental details here. Then we have like a node here. Just click on this, right? The moment you've done it, you want to expand it. So I'll hit uncheck all columns. Since I have department ID here, I don't need to check that. I only want to draw in the department name and location to it. So I'll hit this OK. Now you can see that it's having this department details dot department name. If you scroll to the other end, you get to see almost the same thing, department details dot location. So to do that, just click on this drop down, this setting button here. Then remove it here. Remove this default name and hit OK. It would bring out the name and the location the exact way it should be. This is how you merge. So I'll rename this to give me full employee details. So I get to know that I don't have to start looking for information in other tables. I have the full employee details. This is how you merge your queries together in Power Query inside Power BI. Very good, very simple. I'm very sure this is something easy for those that have been following the video so far, because we've done this already in Microsoft Excel, right? As usual, don't forget to practice. We meet in our next video. And again, please don't forget to save your work. Sometimes when you don't save your work and it goes like that, that's the end of it. You can't find it. This is not like Excel that you have to start recovering files. So to just come here and hit close and apply to close it and load it into Power BI frontend. I know someone is wondering, why am I saying frontend? Why am I saying backend? This is not software development or web design. Now, when it comes to Power BI, the front end of Power BI is this place you are seeing, where you have your report view, your data view, your DAX query view, and your model view. This is the front end of Power BI. The back end is the Power Query, where you have to do the editing, transformation. That is the back end. So when you hear front end, I mean the interface of Power BI, everything and its features. Alright, so just wait for it to load. It will load everything in, and you can now save. You know how to save. Ctrl S to save. You save the name of the folder with whatever you want to save it, and you are good. Thank you very much for watching. We'll meet in our next video. Bye.